This is your everyday English class. Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Every Day. My name is Emily.
And my name is Paul. We're your hosts today, and we'll be guiding you through this lesson in a fun, simple, and natural way.
In today's episode, we're talking about office and workplace English, one of the most useful topics for anyone who works in an international environment.
A lot of people think learning English is only about grammar books, but that's not true. Real English happens in real-life situations, like talking to your coworker, joining a meeting, asking your manager for feedback, or sending a quick message to your team.
And let's be honest, sometimes these situations can feel a little scary. Maybe you think, what if I say something wrong in front of my boss? Or what if I don't understand someone during a meeting?
We totally understand that feeling, but here's the good news. You don't need to speak perfect English. You just need short, clear sentences that people can easily understand.
And to help you with that, Paul and I will also act out a conversation later in the episode. In that dialogue, I will be the person with more experience in the office, and Paul will play the new employee who is learning how things work.
In that conversation, we'll talk about daily routines, meetings, tasks, deadlines, communication styles, and even work-life balance.
So relax, grab your coffee, and don't worry if you don't understand everything right away. After the dialogue, we'll break everything down, explain the key sentences, vocabulary, and cultural tips. And when you listen a second time, it will feel much easier.
And before we start, don't forget to subscribe to English Every Day. Your support helps a lot, and it also makes sure you don't miss any new episodes.
All right, let's begin.
Hi, Emily. Can I ask you something? This is my first week, and I'm still not sure how to follow the daily routine here.
Sure thing, Paul. No problem at all. I remember my first week too. It can feel confusing.
Thanks. So, what time do people usually start working?
Most people arrive around 9 a.m. Some come earlier, like 8:30, to have a quiet start. We usually begin the day by checking emails and looking at our schedule.
Schedule? You mean like a to-do list?
Yes, exactly. Some people use apps, others write on paper. The point is to plan. For example, I always write down 3 main tasks for the day.
That's smart. I normally just try to remember everything, and then I forget half of it.
Don't worry. You'll get better. Keep going. You're doing great already. And remember to take breaks. At 10:30, we usually grab coffee together.
Oh, I wasn't sure if coffee breaks were allowed.
Of course, short breaks help productivity. You can stretch, walk a little, or chat with coworkers. It's a good way to relax and also do some networking.
Networking? Like making professional friends?
Exactly. Even simple conversations during breaks can help you build connections.
Yesterday, I joined my first meeting. Honestly, I was nervous.
Was it online or in the meeting room?
Online, with cameras on. I wasn't sure if I should speak much.
That's normal. In meetings here, participation is important. Even if you say something simple like, I agree with that point, or that's a good idea, it shows you're engaged.
Sometimes I'm afraid to make grammar mistakes in front of everyone.
Don't worry about perfect grammar. People prefer clear, short messages. For example, instead of a long sentence, just say, I think this works.
That sounds easier.
Yes, and remember, study English every day, and you'll feel more confident with time.
One more thing. Yesterday, I wasn't sure if I should interrupt to ask a question.
Good question. Here, it's fine to politely ask, "Sorry, may I ask a quick question?" Or, "Could you repeat that, please?" That's normal and shows you are paying attention.
That helps. I'll try it next time. I see the word deadline everywhere in emails. It makes me nervous.
I know. Deadlines can sound scary, but think of them as guides. They help you manage time.
Yesterday, I tried to do 5 tasks at once, and I finished none.
That happens to everyone. Here's what I do. In the morning, I list tasks. I put urgent ones first. If something is due today, I work on that before checking less important emails.
Makes sense. Do you use an app for that?
Yes, I use Trello, but even a notebook works. The key is to see your tasks clearly.
And what if I can't finish something on time?
Always communicate. You can say, "I need more time for this report. Can we adjust the deadline?" Managers prefer honesty to silence.
That's good advice. In my old job, people hid problems until it was too late.
Here, we try to be open. Remember, you're part of a team. Asking for help is not weakness, it's smart.
Speaking of the team, I sometimes don't know how to talk to the manager. Should I be very formal?
Here, communication is usually clear and direct. We use first names, even with managers. For example, you can say, "Hi, Sarah. Can I ask you something about this project?"
So, no Mr. or Mrs.
Not in this office. But if you're not sure, you can politely ask, "How would you like me to address you?" That shows respect.
Yesterday, I wanted to give feedback, but I was afraid it might sound rude.
Feedback is welcome, but keep it polite and constructive. For example, "I liked this part of the project. Maybe we can also try this idea." It's positive and helpful.
I see. And with coworkers?
Always be kind. Even small words like "thanks so much" or "good job" build a positive atmosphere.
That's good. I'll start saying those more. Emily, one last question. How do people here manage work and personal life?
That's a very important point. Work-life balance is part of our culture. People try not to stay too late. After work, they go home, exercise, spend time with family, or just rest.
In my last job, people worked until 9 p.m. almost every day.
That's not sustainable. Think of it this way. Tired workers make more mistakes. Rest is part of productivity.
True. What do you usually do after work?
I go to the gym 3 times a week. On other days, I read before bed. Reading helps me relax and also learn something new.
I like that. I used to play guitar, but stopped because of work. Maybe I should start again.
Definitely. Hobbies are important. They keep you creative and balanced.
I'll make time for that.
Great. Remember, this job is a marathon, not a sprint. Keep learning something new every day, and don't forget your health.
Thanks so much, Emily. You've given me more than just work tips. You gave me life advice.
Anytime, Paul. Welcome to the office family. You're doing great already. Just keep going. Hello, friends. Now that you heard the conversation between Paul and me, let's slow down and look at it step by step. We'll check some important sentences, explain why they are useful, and give you examples.
That's right. Don't worry if you didn't understand everything in the dialogue. Listening is like exercise. The more you repeat, the stronger you get. Keep going. You're doing great.
I said, I'm still new here and I want to understand how things really work in this office. This is a great way to show openness when you are new at work. You can also say, I want to learn how things are done here.
And I answered, "Sure thing, Paul. No problem at all." That's a friendly and natural way to agree. Instead of just yes, she used a warm expression. Other options could be of course or absolutely.
Another key phrase was, deadlines are important, but don't panic. This means deadlines guide us, but we shouldn't feel afraid.
I said, yesterday, I tried to do 5 tasks at once and I finished none. Notice how I used at once. You can also say, I tried to do everything at the same time.
Another useful phrase is, if you need more time for this report, can we adjust the deadline? This is polite and professional.
I also said, in my old job, people hid problems until it was too late. This is a natural way to compare experiences.
Another important phrase was, how would you like me to address you? Excellent when you're not sure how to call someone.
And Emily replied with, in this office, we usually use first names, even with managers. That's a cultural detail.
Finally, I said, this job is a marathon, not a sprint. A metaphor meaning you should work steadily and keep balance.
And I replied with, you've given me more than just work tips. You gave me life advice. A beautiful phrase to show gratitude.
All right, now let's talk about some important office vocabulary. I'm going to explain everything in a clear, simple, and natural way, just like we're having a friendly conversation. So don't worry, just listen and let the words flow.
Yeah, these are words you'll hear a lot at work, so it's good to get comfortable with them.
The first word is deadline. A deadline is the final time or the final day when you must finish something. For example, you might hear, the deadline for this report is Friday. And that simply means you have to finish the report before Friday. So think of a deadline as the time limit for your work.
Okay, so it's like the last moment I can turn something in.
Exactly. Now, another very common word is meeting. A meeting is when people come together to talk about work. It can be in a room or it can be online. For example, you can say, we have a meeting at 2 p.m. And if it's online, you might say, we have a Zoom meeting at 2. Meetings are basically conversations about work with the team.
Right. That's easy to understand.
Good. The next word is coworker. A coworker is someone who works with you in the same company. Not your boss, not a stranger, just someone on your team or in your office. For example, my coworker helped me with the project.
So basically, the people I see every day at work.
Exactly. Now let's talk about office supplies. Office supplies are the small things you use every day at work. Pens, paper, notebooks, staplers, all of that. You can say, I need some office supplies from the storage room. It's just a simple way to talk about the tools you use in the office.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Another very important word is schedule. Your schedule is your plan for the day or for the week. It shows your tasks, your meetings, and your times. For example, if you say, my schedule is full today, it means you're busy. And if you forget the word schedule, you can always say, I'm busy all day.
So it's like my timetable.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about the word report.
A report is something you write to give information. Maybe you write about results, progress, or a project update. For example, I will send the report by email. A report is usually for a manager, a client, or your team.
Got it. Something official that I write at work.
Yes. And the last word for today is overtime. Overtime means working extra hours, more than your normal schedule. For example, if your regular day ends at 5 p.m., but today you work until 8 p.m., that's overtime. You can say, we had to work overtime to finish the project.
That one is very clear.
Great. So these words, deadline, meeting, coworker, office supplies, schedule, report, and overtime are very common in the office. You don't need to memorize everything right now. Just choose 2 or 3 words today and try to use them in a simple sentence. The more you say them, the more natural they will feel.
Exactly. Just take it slow. You're doing great already.
Keep going. You're improving every day. All right. Now let's move on to something just as important as vocabulary, and that is workplace culture. Understanding the culture helps you fit in better, communicate more naturally, and avoid awkward moments. So let's talk through a few key ideas together, slowly and clearly.
Yeah, workplace culture can be really different from country to country, so it's good to know what to expect.
Exactly. And the first thing we want to talk about is punctuality. In many places, especially in the US and other Western countries, being on time is a big sign of respect. When a meeting starts at 9, people usually try to be there a few minutes early, like 8:55. It shows that you value others' time and you're ready to work.
Right, so arriving late might look unprofessional.
Yes, even if it's just a few minutes. Now, the second thing is about online meetings. With so many people working from home, online meetings are very normal. And it's common to turn on your camera, speak clearly, and look professional, even if you're at home in your living room. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you should look awake, ready, and respectful.
So, camera on, clear voice, no pajamas. Got it.
Exactly. The next part of workplace culture is direct communication. In many Western workplaces, people like simple, clear sentences. Instead of saying something long like, I was wondering if perhaps you could maybe help me, people often just say, can you help me with this? It's still polite, but it's more direct, and that's normal.
Yeah, that feels very different from some cultures where people speak more indirectly.
Exactly. But once you get used to it, it becomes much easier. Now let's talk about work-life balance. Many companies really encourage employees to take breaks, to go home on time, and to rest. The idea is simple. When you rest, you think better, you work better, and you make fewer mistakes. So taking a break doesn't mean you're lazy. It means you're taking care of yourself.
I like that idea. Rest is part of productivity.
Absolutely. And one more part of workplace culture is internal networking. This just means connecting with the people you work with. Sometimes that happens during coffee breaks, sometimes at lunch, and sometimes just when you say hello in the hallway. These small conversations help build relationships. And believe it or not, a lot of opportunities come from these casual moments.
So, talking to coworkers isn't just small talk, it can actually help my career.
Yes, exactly. And it doesn't have to be anything complicated. Just simple things like, how's your day going? Or how's the project going? Can help you build trust and connection. So, to sum it up, workplace culture is made of a few important habits: being on time, communicating clearly, showing professionalism in online meetings, keeping a healthy work-life balance, and building connections with your coworkers. These small things help you feel more confident and more at home in an international office.
And the more you understand the culture, the easier it is to communicate and succeed at work.
Exactly. You're doing great. Keep going. Now, let's move on to something very practical, something you can start using right away, and that is model sentences. These are short, simple sentences that you can use in real office situations. Don't try to memorize everything at once. Just listen, repeat, and let the phrases become natural over time.
Yeah, these sentences are super helpful, especially if you're new to working in an English-speaking environment.
Exactly. So let's start with something very common. You can say, I usually check my emails in the morning. This is a simple way to describe your routine. If you want another option, you can say, my schedule starts at 9 a.m. and ends at 5 p.m. And if you forget the word schedule, that's okay. You can keep it simple and say, I start at 9 and finish at 5.
Right. Short and clear. That's the key.
Yes, absolutely. Now, let's talk about meetings. Sometimes you don't understand someone, and that's totally normal. You can say, can you repeat that, please? This is polite, simple, and very useful. And if you're in a meeting and you want to agree with someone without saying too much, you can say, I agree with that point. Or you can make it even simpler. Yes, that's good. Another easy one is, I understand. These really help you when you feel nervous and don't know what to say.
Exactly. And now let's talk about deadlines. You can say, the deadline for this report is Friday. If you need more time, you can say, can we extend the deadline? Or if you forget the word deadline, you can simply say, can I have more time for this task? It's still clear, and everyone will understand you.
Yeah, that feels much easier. Great. Now let's talk about feedback. If you want your manager or coworker to check your work, you can say, can I have feedback on this project? Or if you want a suggestion, you can ask, what do you recommend for the next step? And if you want something very short and simple, you can just say, is this okay? Or do you like it? All of these work perfectly.
Simple sentences, big impact.
Exactly. And now let's talk about overtime and personal life. You can say, I don't usually work overtime. Or you can talk about your life after work by saying, I like to spend time with my family after work. If you forget the word overtime, you can say, I sometimes stay late at work. It means the same thing.
I really like how all of these sentences can change just a little and still make sense.
Yes, that's the best part. You can take one structure and switch out one or two words. For example, instead of I check my emails in the morning, you can say I check my reports in the morning. And instead of the deadline is Friday, you can say the deadline is next week. The structure stays the same,
only the detailed changes.
That makes it much easier to create my own sentences.
Exactly. And here's a little tip. Write down 3 sentences today and practice them tomorrow. Study English every day, even just a few minutes, and soon these phrases will feel completely natural to you.
You're doing great. Just keep practicing.
Yes, keep going. You're improving every day. All right, friends, we've covered a lot today. We went through daily routines in the office, how to participate in meetings, how to handle tasks and deadlines, how to communicate clearly with managers and coworkers, and even how to keep a healthy balance between work and personal life. That's a lot of useful English.
Yeah, and the best part is that none of it is complicated. It's all about short, clear sentences that you can use every single day at work. You don't need big, difficult words to sound confident.
Exactly. Even simple phrases like, "Can you repeat that, please?" Or, "The deadline is Friday," can help you communicate smoothly and professionally. And remember, learning office English is not just about the vocabulary. It's also about culture, communication style, and the small habits that make your workday easier.
And like we always say, listening is like exercise. The more you practice, the stronger your listening becomes. So don't worry if you didn't understand everything the first time. Just listen again, and it will get easier and easier.
That's right. And now, before we finish, we want to ask you a question. If you worked in an international office, what would be your biggest challenge? Would it be meetings? Would it be deadlines? Or maybe communication with coworkers?
Think about it, and then share your answer in the comments. Every time you write or speak, you practice your English. And you also connect with other people who are learning just like you.
Don't just listen. Apply what you learned today. Use the sentences, try the vocabulary, and notice how people communicate at your workplace. The more you use English, the more natural it will feel.
And of course, don't forget to subscribe to English Every Day, share this episode with a friend, and keep learning with us.
You're doing great. Stay motivated, keep improving, and never stop learning.
Take care, everyone.
Keep practicing,
Keep growing.
and we'll see you next time.